By the time first responders arrived at Rainier Hookah Lounge, they say they found one man dead inside and 2 other victims nearby who eventually died from gunshot wounds. 6 surviving victims arrived at Harborview Medical Center. 5 of them are expected to recover, with 1 still in critical condition.
You see the families that are impacted by this violence. It's unacceptable. It's just something that it's disturbing.
This shooting comes less than a month after 5 people were shot at a Safeway just 5 miles away.
That right there just tells you that the level of disregard for life. I have not seen this to this magnitude in 26 years of policing.
So far this year, SPD has recovered more than 4,000 shell casings and 869 guns. When it comes to the tragedy that unfolded here at Rainier Hookah Lounge, Diaz says 5 guns were recovered.
And guess what the response is from the city's liberal leaders? Welcome to another installment of the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box. And if you like my channel, like my content, and what I do here, you can support me with the link in the description box. Everything is appreciated. Let's talk about this. Now, Seattle, Washington. There was a triple murder at a hookah lounge. Apparently, the place just turned into a massive shootout, and 3 people were killed. And if I'm not mistaken, there were 3 or 4 injured. But in response, the mayor, Bruce Harrell, has said we need more gun control. Keep in mind, allegedly illegal guns, multiple people shooting at each other, and his answer is always, well, it's the answer of all these Democrat mayors and governors. We need more gun control. You remember, let's dig a little bit into Seattle's past. Remember, Seattle's where they had the autonomous zone, where people literally took over a number of city blocks and literally said, this is a police no-go zone, and said, we're going to police ourselves. And what happened? There was a shooting. 1 person was killed as a teenager. 1 was killed, another injured. That was the mayor at the time, Jenny Durkin, literally heralded this takeover of these city blocks as the, how does she put it? She said the zone could herald a summer of love. She supported it. She supported it. Another Democrat. Now, of course, that autonomous zone was taken down. But this is a city, like most of these Democrat, liberal, progressive-run cities, are soft on crime and basically hand-slap pretty much all misdemeanors. Then they have a crime problem, and what's the first answer they have? We need gun control. We need gun control. Gun control would have prevented this because allegedly, this is alleged, the guns that were used were stolen. So somebody made a great point of saying, you're not holding people accountable for these petty crimes that they do. They escalate it to major crimes. If this person had been treated properly, because once again, you're going to find out these people got a long list of offenses and charges that have been put against them over the years. If you held them accountable the first time, we wouldn't be here today. But Mr. Harrell out there in Seattle says we need gun control, and he's trying. He kind of hammered preemption laws. Preemption laws prevents cities from making laws that are more strict than state law when it comes to guns. Florida has the same thing. But he is rallying against them because he wants to make gun laws that are stricter than the state's laws. To do what? To have this chaos continue? Because I know I sound like a broken record because I say it so much. Laws are only as good as the people who are willing to follow them. And this isn't going to prevent what happened at this hookah lounge. But a lot of people are saying he is basically exploiting those murders. Well, duh. Shall I go through the list of exploitations of murders by firearms? that have been used to pass gun laws that have done nothing. Let's start right at the beginning. Okay, 2012. That's the go-to playbook for Democrats. Because if you're killed any other way, they don't care about you. You get killed by a very specific firearm, they come out in mass to prop you up and put you up on a pedestal. But this situation in Seattle, they threw out a poll, and they said, one poll, do you believe our elected leaders' policies have led to an increase in crime? This is specifically policies. 94% say yes, while only 6% say no. A second poll, multiple choice. What do you think is the number one factor in recent mass shootings in Seattle? A staggering 77% say no fear of consequences. It's the same across the country. Go to every single one of these liberal-run inner cities. Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, Los Angeles. You just go right down the damn list. It's the same thing. There is no fear of consequences because they want to play equity in our justice system because what do they say? It's racist to lock up people who are of color who commit crime. And this is what you end up with. And their answer every single time, across the board, across the country, the answer they will have every single time is, we need more gun control. We need more gun control. Okay? And there's always the point that, once again, this is alleged, so they're not letting out very much information on where these firearms came from, but it's alleged that they are stolen firearms that happened at the shooting at the Hookah Lounge. So what gun control law could you come up with to cover that? There isn't one. It's already illegal to steal a firearm. It's already illegal to use it in a nefarious manner and kill another human being. So what more could you come up with? But this is once again a failure of liberal-run cities, of not holding people accountable for the crimes that they commit, and they get bolder and bolder. Chicago, the teen takeovers every weekend. Okay? All across the country, people shooting each other non-stop. Nordstrom's in California, you see in the video, getting robbed into oblivion because there are no consequences. Look at where all this trouble is happening. And what is the common thread with all of this, whether it be crime, looting, gun crime, violence in general? What is the common theme with these cities experiencing this? They all have Democrat-run leadership. They have majority Democrat rule, whether it be on a state level or a city level. That's the problem. And you would think the people who live there would catch on, because if you remember, I did a story about Oakland very recently and what's going on there. You know, they had basically a shooting there, and I did a story on it. But the people living there say, I don't feel safe. Well, you voted for this. How can I feel sorry for you? You voted for this. I feel sorry for the people who don't vote for it, but the majority of the people voted for it. Same thing in Chicago. Lori Lightfoot, worst mayor on the planet, and Brandon Johnson has now stepped in to take over that title. But he told you what he was about before he got elected, and you voted for him anyway. Here's the end result. You can't call children thugs. You can't call a large gathering a mob. You can't, at what point are we going to get a clue? But the only answer these fools have, and I call them fools. I just hate to think somebody is that clueless. But the only answer they have is, we need gun control. We need gun control. We need gun control. And and I always come back to the same thought that they're not interested in solving violent crime. I think they're basically putting this chaos on the streets out there so they can use it to basically disarm the public pushing laws on emotion. Because most gun laws are pushed through on emotion and not logic. Because if the people were to be logical and critical thinking, they would realize that making a ban on a firearm does not change the face of violence anywhere. But you can't be logical with these people. So, no point there. But this is what's going on in Seattle. And once again, the mayor's pushing for more gun control in response to a shooting by people who should not have had firearms in the first place. Go figure that one out. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I will see you on the next one. Peace.